last Insights video, Stalkers Part 1, I provided an overview on the 5 different types of stalkers, commonalities and differences, and the primary motivations for each type. In this video, I will be diving into a specific case example on the most common type of stalker, the rejected stalker, which comprises approximately 1/3 of all stalkers. Nicola Roberts is a British pop star, songwriter, and advocate. She rose to fame after auditioning and winning a spot on the British reality show Pop Stars The Rivals, after which she formed the musical group sensation Girls Aloud, which launched 5 albums, earned 4 UK #1 singles, and worldwide success. At the height of her career, Nicola began dating a man named Carl Davies, an Afghanistan veteran. They were together for 18 months. In 2008, the relationship became increasingly unhealthy, so Nicola ended it. She was 22 at the time. Well, the Girls Aloud group took a 3-year hiatus in 2009, and Nicola went on to pursue a successful solo career. In 2012, the group reunited and released another album and aired a television documentary entitled 10 Years of Girls Aloud. It was around this same time in 2012, 4 years after her breakup with Carl Davies, that Nicola's nightmare began. Carl Davies began sending Nicola Twitter and Instagram messages in 2012. Many of the messages were affectionate in nature, and he even sent a bouquet of flowers to Nicola's manager declaring his love for Nicola. However, the vast majority of messages were disturbing and even threatening. I'm sure it goes without saying that being a victim of stalking is incredibly stressful, emotional, and traumatic. And when you talk to victims of stalking, they will tell you that they experience a whole host of emotions, from shock and disbelief to sometimes being in a relationship where some of the stalking behaviors have become normalized over time in the context of the relationship, to a fear if a victim reports stalking that there may be retaliation, or the system, including the criminal justice system, won't take the matter seriously or protect the victim adequately, or that reporting it may escalate the situation, or in the case of public figures or celebrities in particular, that reporting the stalking will invite unnecessary and negative media attention. Nicola never replied to any of the thousands of messages from Carl, but she meticulously copied them for her records. After 5 years of no response, Carl began stalking a friend of Nicola's, and it was Nicola's concern for her friend being stalked that prompted her to contact the police. Carl was arrested and pled guilty to 1 count of stalking and another count of persistent use of a public communication to cause annoyance or inconvenience. The court's sentence included a lifetime restraining order to not contact or go within 250 meters of Nicola or her family or her friend. He also received 15 months in prison, 150 hours of unpaid work, a 60-day rehabilitation activity, and a ban from following Nicola on social media. Unfortunately for Nicola, Carl violated his restraining order by following her on Instagram, which brings me to the topic of restraining orders. Restraining orders are potentially effective, but they're one of many stalking risk management strategies. It's important not to have a false sense of security in a restraining order, particularly if someone's violated a previous restraining order. They tend to work best in non-violent cases, and they're best implemented sooner rather than later. Nicola described significant anxiety from being stalked, and some people even develop posttraumatic stress disorder. Among the other typical psychological effects of stalking include depression, powerlessness and suicidality, insomnia, and substance abuse. Nicola describes living with a constant feeling of walking on eggshells and a fear that she remains at risk. As she says, "You are too scared to take the dogs out for a walk because when someone plants vicious seeds, you just imagine every possible outcome." Nicola has since become an advocate for victims like herself by speaking out and working with Women's Aid in order to ensure others don't end up in a similar situation. Thank you for watching Stalkers Part 2. Join me for the next episode where we'll be covering a case example on the intimacy-seeking stalker.